our lives. Some say we've gone too far, that we're going against the current. But I would like to ask you, when did recognizing rights become something radical? When did empathy become something exceptional? Spain is above all a welcoming country, and this is the path we choose: dignity, community, and justice.
The Spanish government has done it. 500,000 undocumented immigrants have been granted legal status to stay in Spain for 5 years. People that have been there illegally, including asylum seekers, people that have been there with no status, have been granted permanent status for 5 years. Do you know how long it takes to become a Spanish citizen? Go and research that. In fact, if you know, comment it. More people who have been there illegally will become citizens in such a very short time. If you look at the numbers, the Spanish government has done something that no government in the world has done. In fact, they are one of the first. 500,000, 500,000. And it's immediately. It's not something that they are signing that next year, next week they will do. It is immediately. They are becoming permanent. And there were just 2 conditions. 1, have residence for 5 months. Over 5 months is even perfect. 2, no criminal record. You are set to stay in Spain. I don't know what is going, but when I looked at the comments on various platforms, my people, people are not so happy. But it is what it is. Congratulations to everyone. The best way to travel is always legally at the end of the day. Well, but some people are lucky.
Undocumented migrants living in Spain have welcomed a government decision to offer hundreds of thousands of people a way to stay in the country legally. Madrid earlier this week said it would grant residency and work permits to all foreigners who arrived in Spain before the 31st of December last year, have lived there for at least 5 months and have a clear criminal record.
Actually, first of all, we are grateful and extremely thankful to the government of Spain for introducing these immigration reforms, where mostly the undocumented people, persons working here, who are being used to being exploited, they could not find jobs, they are being documented. So as a part of general amnesty which is declared by the government,
it's estimated that more than 500,000 undocumented migrants live in Spain, many doing jobs that locals don't want to do and often exploited and marginalized.
It's been almost a year that I've been in Spain. And before here, I was in the UK. So I went there as an international student, did my master's, was working in property management. But due to some legal extension and documentation issues, I had to take that step and move here to Spain. And to be honest with you, when I first thought, I didn't expect that this country is going to be so good. The weather, the people, the culture, and everything. And especially this step that the government has taken, I think it's really beneficial for us people.
Spain says that far from being a drain on social security services, as critics claim, migrants strengthen the country's social security system. Madrid's move contrasts sharply with anti-immigrant rhetoric and deportation efforts elsewhere.
Hello YouTube family, welcome back to Polito Realities. If it's your first time to come across this channel, then kindly take a minute to subscribe, to like and to share today's video. Across Europe today, one thing is very clear. Many countries are tightening their immigration rules and deporting undocumented immigrants. Governments are saying that they are under pressure. That is from housing, unemployment, and also from the voters. But Spain has chosen a different path. Instead of deporting people who are already living there, the Spanish government says it wants to legalize undocumented migrants as long as they have no criminal record and are contributing to the society. According to the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, this is about realism. Spain has an aging population. There is labor shortages in agriculture, construction, and caregiving, and hundreds of thousands of migrants already working informally. The idea looks very simple. Bring them to the legal system, collect taxes from people, reduce exploitation, and stabilize the workforce. But this decision has consequences too. While other countries are really and actively deporting migrants, Spain is welcoming them. And now, Spain is asking the European Union for help. That contradiction is what has shocked so many people. And that is what exactly we are here to discuss today.
So Spain has joined Europe in their attempt to commit suicide. Spain just granted legal status to hundreds of thousands of undocumented migrants by royal decree, actually up to 500,000 of them. And they did so without a single parliamentary vote, no public consent, and they didn't even have a serious debate about it. They just did it by government decree. And this, of course, will be framed by the leaders of Spain, as has been the case with all of the leaders of Europe, as compassion, but in reality, it is policy malpractice. And you may be asking, where are these immigrants coming from? Well, the majority of them arrived illegally from North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, primarily from places like Morocco, Senegal, Mali, and others, often through very, very dangerous Mediterranean crossings or through Spain's Moroccan enclaves. This decision actively incentivizes illegal immigration. No ifs, ands, or buts. When a government retroactively legalizes people who broke the rules, it is sending a crystal clear message to the world. If you get in illegally and you just wait long enough, the state will fold and we'll do everything we can to make your life better while we, don't really focus on bettering the lives of the people who are already here. All of these leaders say we have to do something about migration. We have to find a moral and legal way to address it. So Spain decides, screw what our people think, screw the practical implications and realities of what might happen, to the economy, to the workforce, to our culture. No, let's just legalize, give legality to all these people who entered illegally, and surely that's just going to fix the issue. It's not going to incentivize more people to come illegally. Spain already struggles heavily with high youth unemployment. There are housing shortages in Spain. The healthcare system is overburdened. There are stagnant wages for working class Spaniards. Now the government is injecting 500,000 new competitors into the labor market in the snap of a finger. Again, without public consent and without a single vote in the parliament. And this surely does not help the poor. In fact, it pushes wages down, increases housing demand, and hurts the most vulnerable Spaniards first. Again, we're supposed to care and love for our own people, but not screw them. We don't care what they think. You 500,000 people who came from Africa, you came illegally, and that's okay. Now you're legal, and we're going to take care of you. Again, this was not passed through parliament. It was imposed by executive decree. On an issue that reshapes demographics, labor markets, and national identity, the government chose to bypass the people's representatives entirely. That is not democratic leadership. That is elite governance, literally without the consent of the governed. Spain doesn't exist in a vacuum. This move signals to traffickers, to smugglers, and migrants across Africa and the Middle East that Europe's borders are negotiable and that enforcement is temporary or non-existent. Once one country caves, the pressure spreads to all of them. The precedent is in place. I don't care what you think about migrants. I don't care what you think about immigration. I care about the rule of law, democratic legitimacy, and social stability. And a country that cannot say no is a country that eventually loses control of everything else. So to the Spanish government, not the Spanish people, because I'm sure that many of them oppose this, congratulations and welcome. You have joined a plethora of other European countries who have decided to commit cultural suicide.
Wait. The Spain just say about 500,000 immigrants will get legal residency, like if you chop a duro or if you don't get documents. If you live in Europe or know someone in Spain, listen carefully because many people are confused. So let me explain this very clearly and honestly so nobody misunderstands it or pack their bag and baggages to Spain because you guys are blowing my inbox and take a chill pill. Now, yes, Spain is planning a special regularization program. Now, what does regularization mean? Regularization means that the government decides to give legal residence to people who were already living in Spain without valid papers. In simple words, you were undocumented, whether you chop a duro or anything, right? But you don't get paper. Spain opened a special legal window. You apply. If you qualify, you become legal. Now, this is not automatic. This is not citizenship, and it comes with rules and conditions. Now, listen carefully. This part is very important. Now, Spain will set a cut-off date. A cut-off date means you must prove that you were living in Spain before a specific date chosen by the government. Let's say, for example, now this is just an example, right? If the cut-off date is 31st of December 2025 and you came before that 2025 December, you may qualify. But if you came after 2025, you may not be eligible. How do people prove they were there? Now, you usually need proof like registration papers, school or hospital letters, NGO or church letters, rent contract, or any official document showing that you were in Spain before the cutoff date. Now, this regularization is usually one time only. If you miss the cutoff date, you miss the opportunity. And no, this does not apply automatically to other EU countries like Germany, France, or Italy. Now, who is this for? This applies if you were already living in Spain before the cut-off date, you can prove you live there, and you have no serious criminal record. Why is this huge? Now, this is huge because it will save a lot of people from deportation, reunite family, and make people live their life freely. Why is Spain doing this regularization, you may ask? Now, Spain is facing serious labor shortages, an aging population, and a large number of undocumented migrants already living and working there. Instead of pushing people into illegality, the government wants to legalize those already contributing, protecting them from exploitation and bring them into the tax social security system. So please, don't panic, don't spread wrong information, and don't travel illegally thinking it applies everywhere so that you don't cry, right? If you want, you can follow me because I'm definitely going to keep you updated on what or how this story is going to turn up on more things about Germany and Europe at large. So thank you very much.
Hooray! Hey, everybody is very happy in Spain right now, especially those without document, because Spain, they have done it again. They have finally approved the long-waiting regularization and the new law they said they will put in place. Everybody is happy right now. Don't worry, I will name it. There are five types of Arrigo social right now. Arrigo to follow. Yes, they have finally approved it today, which is November 19th. It's not that it has been in place now, but they have approved it. So it will take 6 months before it will start. You can use it. Let's say by May. So let me call the different type of Arrigo. We have the Arrigo social, which is the normal one. I will not explain. I just want to call it, but I will explain later, or you can go and meet your lawyer to explain. Arrigo social, which is normal one. And 2, we have the social laboral. Social laboral, Arrigo social laboral. 3, we have the Arrigo social formativo. In number 4, we have the Arrigo de familiar. And in number 5, we have Arrigo de segunda oportunidad. Know that there are 5 now that have been put in place, so anyone you can choose from it. Best advice for me is for you to go to your lawyer right now and ask question about these 5 types and the best for you to choose from. Thank you.
You can't make this stuff up. You really can't. Spain has requested EU support after migration surge. And this is literally days after they've announced that they are going to naturalize no less than 500,000 undocumented migrants already residing in the country. So shortly after the announcement, reports claim Spain has experienced a fresh increase of immigrant arrivals after no doubt they're getting word of this and then flooding into Spain. Particularly via the Canary Islands route. The Spanish government has reportedly asked the European Commission for financial assistance to deal with what is described as an over-concentration of migrants in certain regions. Discussions have included the potential redistribution of migrants from the Canary Islands to mainland Spain or other EU countries under solidarity mechanisms. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's government has framed the regularization as a humanitarian and economic measure aimed at integrating workers already contributing to Spain's economy. So the political backlash here from Brussels, criticism has been reported from several EU lawmakers. Swedish MEP Thomas Tobé argued the move undermines EU migration coordination and Schengen free movement principles. Hungarian MEP Balas Hidvegi, frequently speaking on migration issues, criticised the decision as encouraging further illegal arrivals. Some centre-right and nationalist groups in the European Parliament have described the move as a pull factor. So the issue has been linked to tensions around the recently agreed EU migration pact. The numbers being circulated right now, reports and commentators have mentioned 500,000 migrants potentially eligible for regularization in Spain. Estimates or warnings suggesting Spain could eventually face up to 1 million plus additional asylum pressures. This figure appears in commentary rather than confirmed government projections. concerns that some migrants may later relocate within the Schengen area. No official EU document has publicly confirmed a 1.3 million intake figure as a binding obligation. Northern European reaction, political voices from Sweden and Hungary have suggested northern EU states may consider temporary internal border controls if secondary movements increase. Spain's decision could strain free movement if large numbers relocate northwards. This echoes debates from the 2015-2016 migration crisis. So the UK is mentioned in commentary. Some commentators have suggested migrants could eventually attempt to reach the UK. There is no formal EU policy mechanism that transfers migrants from Spain to the UK. Any movement to the UK would occur independently of EU agreements. See, look, obviously this socialist government under Sanchez is doing it for humanitarian reasons and not protecting his constituents or his base. Okay, we'll see about that. I think that a lot of these guys who are left of centre are just, basically trying to save their own skin effectively by naturalizing illegal migrants, and then eventually they'll have the ability to vote. Now, I did do a video on this before, and it is very clear at the moment that they can't vote, but that may change if he does a snap change in policy, of which what they did with this, he sort of evoked his right in his powerful position to do that. I think the timing of this is hilarious. They've naturalized them, and now they're asking for more money because there's been an influx now because it's word of mouth. So basically people have heard about it and now everyone's rushing there. So I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? Seriously, what did you think was going to happen? Like, Spain, sort your shit out, please. And I'd argue that the vast majority of people there in Spain are not happy about this at all. It's a very patriotic country. They're very proud of their nation. And they'll be damned if they see it change based on, migratory patterns from countries that don't really relate to Spanish culture. So what do you think is going to happen here? I think this is all a ticking time bomb. This is happening all over Western Europe, as I've said before. People have had enough. And, a lot of Europeans have not voted for this. And we are going to see, again, as I said before in the previous video, which has gone viral, by the way, remigration policy as the norm across most Western European countries. Everyone is going home. Everyone's going to get sent back, basically. And it's only a matter of time now. Rupert Lowe, I think, was the first, in our country to be very direct and just, rip the Band-Aid off and go, look, this is what people are thinking. I'm just saying it. He's literally saying what everyone's thinking. And you can't sugarcoat this anymore. You can't alienate your consumer base. And I used the Jaguar Land Rover as a prime example here because look what happened to them. If you alienate 80 to 90% of your consumer base and target a fringe market, what do you think is going to happen? The same can be applied to the British people. If you alienate British people and focus on a minority group, what do you think is going to happen? It's not smart because they should have waited another 10 years, and I think the numbers probably, maybe 20 years, and the numbers probably would have been a bit more fair. But they still make up, Indigenous Britons still make up the vast majority of people in this country. So to alienate those people by saying they're second class and they come second and they're not a priority, and that illegal migrants are, as per a Labour spokesperson speaking to Trevor Phillips, I believe, on Sky News, what do you think is going to happen? Like, this is, again, it's not rocket science. Anyway, I'm blabbing again. That's it for now. If there's any other updates on this, I'll let you know. You heard it first from DK. Let me know in comments in the box below. Thank you.
Across Europe, migration politics have changed. Countries like Italy, the UK, and others are focusing on deportations and border control. Voters are demanding tougher policies and governments are responding. Undocumented migration is now seen not just as a humanitarian issue but as a political and economic problem. Spain's government argues that deporting hundreds of thousands of people is unrealistic. Many migrants are already working. They are paying rent and raising families. According to the government, legalization is a way to control the situation instead of pretending it does not exist. Spain also faces labor shortages and an aging population, which makes migrants economically very important. Legalizing migrants does not remove the pressure, it just shifts it. Housing, healthcare, education, and integration all cost money. Spain cannot carry that burden alone. That's why the government is now turning to the European Union, asking for shared responsibility, funding, and coordinated migration policy. This is where the shock comes in. While most countries are saying no to the migrants, Spain is saying, come, please come. Other governments worry this could attract more migrants or create political backlash. Supporters say Spain is being honest and pragmatic. Critics say that Spain is taking a risk and asking others to help them clean up later. Spain's decision could either become a role model or a warning. If legalization improves the stability and the economy, other countries may follow. If pressure increases, opposition will grow. Either way, this moment shows how divided Europe is on immigration and why Spain's move has become such a big story. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. You have been watching Polito Realities.